Alright, so in this video, we'll be looking at soluble and insoluble salts. Alright, soluble and insoluble salts. We'll be looking at the meaning and their examples. Alright, so first of all, what is a soluble salt? A soluble salt or soluble salts are salts that can dissolve in water. Alright, any salt that can dissolve in water is referred to as a soluble salt, Insoluble salts are salts that do not dissolve in water, or they are salts that cannot dissolve in water. So any salt that cannot dissolve in water is referred to as an insoluble salt. Alright, so again, insoluble salts are salts that can dissolve in water, they can dissolve in water, while insoluble salts are salts that do not dissolve in water, or that cannot dissolve in water. Alright, so these are the examples of soluble salts, and these are the examples of insoluble salts. So the first point here is that all common salts of sodium, potassium, and ammonium are soluble salts. Alright? Examples of the soluble salts, that are salts that can dissolve in water. All common salts of sodium, of potassium, and of ammonium, they can dissolve in water. They are soluble salts. Alright? So examples of common salts of sodium, we have things like sodium, we have salt like sodium chloride, alright, potassium chloride, ammonium chloride. These salts can dissolve in water. Why? Because all common salts of sodium, potassium, and ammonium are soluble in what? In water. They are soluble salts. Alright? So we also have salts like sodium triazonitrate 5. Alright? So sodium triazonitrate 5, potassium triazonitrate 5, and even ammonium triazonitrate 5. Alright, so it's very important that you should know that all common salts of sodium, potassium, and ammonium, they can dissolve in water. They are soluble salts. Alright, so whether it being a chloride salt, a triazonitrate 5 salt, or a tetraoxosulfate 6 salt, or a triazocarbonate 4 salt, all these are what? All these are soluble in what? In water. So example of the tetraoxosulfate 6 that is soluble in water, we have sodium tetraoxosulfate 6. Alright, this is soluble in water. Potassium tetraoxosulfate 6 is soluble in water. Ammonium tetraoxosulfate 6 is also what? Soluble in water. Then the triazocarbonate 4, we have sodium triazocarbonate 4, it is soluble in water. We have potassium triazocarbonate 4, it is soluble in water. We have ammonium triazocarbonate 4, it is also soluble in water. So the main thing that you should note here, or the main point that you should note here, is that all common salts of sodium, potassium, and ammonium are what? Are soluble in water. Alright, that's what you should know. So whether it is sodium chloride, it is sodium triazonitrate 5, it is sodium tetraoxosulfate 6, it is sodium triazocarbonate 4, as long as sodium is there, it is what? Soluble in water. Same with potassium and same with what? Ammonium. Alright, so all these are examples of what? Soluble salts. So let's look at this question. Which of the following carbonate is soluble in water? Which of the following carbonate is soluble in water? Like I said, all common salts of sodium, of potassium, and ammonium are what? Are soluble in water. Alright, so if you look at all these are triazocarbonate 4 salts. So is it calcium triazocarbonate 4? No. Is it magnesium triazocarbonate 4? No. Is it lead 2 triazocarbonate 4? No. It is what? Sodium triazocarbonate 4. So sodium triazocarbonate 4 is what? Is soluble in what? In water. So this is the correct answer to this question. So again, you should note that all common salts of sodium, potassium, and ammonium are soluble in water. Very important. All right.